All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Xiaokai versus Hu, taking place here on Twisted Meadows. Hu has spawned as the blue orc player over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, we have Xiaokai spawning as the red undead. Undead versus human in this 1v1 matchup. And once again, thank you to everyone out there who has supported me through Patreon, through Twitch, watching these videos. All of these things do definitely go out and help pay the bills. Definitely gonna need to pay more bills as well. I think I'm gonna be spending like $2,500 a month on childcare after Iris is born, my third daughter. So yeah, things do get very expensive, but once again, thank you. I can directly say without childcare, well, I definitely wouldn't be able to cast, since I'd be spending all of my time, well, just watching over kids instead of commenting on a 15-year-old video game played by, well, really good players. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down in this matchup for all you eagle-eyed viewers. Well, actually, I don't think you can tell right now. I am casting on Twitch. It's been quite some time. I haven't been able to cast consistently or regularly because of my summer schedule. But hopefully you guys are going to be enjoying this as we're opening up with a Farseer first, coming in from Hu. Hu opening up with the Farseer. This is not an unorthodox strategy anymore. You can take a look. There is no barracks, no Voodoo Lounge, which is an obvious indication that he's going to try and go for harassment and a very fast tech to tier 2. Tier 2 in before the 2-minute mark right there. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the map, it is a Lich first. Alright, Lich first going up against Death Knight first, Lich first going up against Farseer first. This is not your typical strategy by any stretch of the imagination. Spirit Wolf is going to try and get some damage onto that Acolyte. Farseer also doing a little bit of chase as well. A lot of damage is already adding back up. Farseer should be able to get in one more killing blow. There it goes. It does get taken down. Meanwhile, Spirit Wolf is going to look for, well, perhaps where his opponent is. Going to go after this Null and this Null Brute. Timed life, that Feral Spirit Wolf will be able to absorb a lot of damage. The Farseer will be about 40% of the way to level 2. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the other end here. This is an Acolyte with a Sacrificial Skull and a Lich here, and this is all moving out for a very fast expand. Normally this is done with a Dreadlord, but to see an Acolyte do this, you're going to see the Haunted Goldmine being summoned right here, followed by a Ziggurat. And this particular strategy, well, a fast expansion strategy is normally used against, well, a human player, but to see it actually being used up against an orc player who's going Farseer first, this is, well, all rather unheard of for me, and I'm trying to predict what's going to be happening here. Alright, so Strange opening straight off the bat here. Lich already getting up to level 2, has Ring of Regeneration, will be a perfect item to try and make up for a little bit of lost hit points, as we're going to see this Acolyte now wandering around here waiting to get that Haunted Goldmine. We should be getting more Acolytes trained up at the Necropolis and have them moved over. Meanwhile, the Farseer perhaps wondering what is going on here, and this is going to be one of those instances where you have to click on the Lich, click on the hero to figure out what exactly he's going for. Looking at the items on your opponent's unit is incredibly important to know what creep camps they have cleared out. If you see a Ring of Regeneration, you know that, well, a little bit more difficult of a creep camp should have been cleared out here. Let's take a look at this. A little bit of damage onto that Farseer now as that Spirit Wolf heads off to the north. Lich has gone for Dark Ritual as his second ability, so these skeletal minions will be giving a lot of extra mana to this Lich pretty regularly. Alright, there is another Dark Ritual or Sacrificial Skull right there. Let's take a look. Farseer taking a lot of damage once more and already being forced to pull back here. Let's take a look back across here as the ghouls are now going to start to eat away at the Feral Spirits, or Feral Spirit Wolves. Meanwhile, making its way back off to the north here, you're going to have a ghoul make its rounds as as well. Let's take a look at this. Another Rod of Necromancy charge being used. Oh, don't quite agree with that use right there, using the Dark Ritual on a fresh Skeletal Minion when there was an old Skeletal Minion not yet quite ready. Meanwhile, you can take a look. Grunts are now making their way, trying to put pressure onto this one Haunted Goldmine, and somehow, for some way, Xiaokai knew to try and come over here. Are we going to see this Haunted Goldmine? Was it canceled? I don't believe so. I do not believe it was canceled, and now Spirit Wolves are now going to be making their way over. All right, Tauren Chieftain is already out onto the field. It looks like Xiaokai is doubling down on this expansion attempt as the, well, there goes the Spirit Wolves now. And you know what? Maybe I'm actually showcasing the wrong game. Give me 1 second right now. I might be actually saying that I'm streaming Tetris 99, which may be the reason why things look a little strange. Hold on. Local recording. All right, yeah. I was saying I was streaming Tetris, so that's the reason why, well, my normal Warcraft 3 viewers weren't coming over to take a look. Anyways, Lich, now coming across here, does have that Ring of Regeneration, has the Rod of Necromancy charge ready to go. Acolytes are now being transitioned over. Haunted Goldmine here. There is still Blight here, and we'll see how that is going to be used. Now, on the flip side, opposite end of the map, we're going to see who purposely try to clear up an expansion of his own. If you can't shut down your opponent's expansion, being able to establish up an expansion of your own, well, is a nice way to try and stay even, especially when you're going up, say, against an undead player. Undead players are generally not known for setting up an expansion. They're known for having a lot of pressure, and during this time, while the undead is setting up his expansion, he's gonna be behind on tech. You can see he's still at Necropolis, now just teching now to tier 2. He may be able to get Crypt Fiends, but he's not really gonna be able to put pressure onto this Great Hall. Back on the other side here, Orc Burrow getting established. Now we are sitting at tier 2. Tauren Totem, Adept Training, Spirit Link is going to be incredibly important during the early stages of this match, as the opponent is not going to be able to devour magic, and that Spirit Link making it very difficult for the undead to actually focus down any sort of orc units. Will the economic advantage of Xiaokai actually be able to take root? Well, he has to make sure that he holds an economic advantage first by actually shutting down Hu's expansion as well. Ghouls will be making their way back down across here, but the extra movement speed and the extra attack speed of the Tauren Chieftain, in addition to having Stomp, which will allow him to perhaps, put his foot down. Yes, there it goes, a little bit late. He was trying to get into the right position and then really didn't actually be able to do all that much. Let's take a look at this. More units coming back around. Stomp putting their way through. Tauren Chieftain may end up getting taken down to 72 hit points, down to 60. He gets taken down. Farseer units are getting finished off left and right. Beautiful use of the Dark Ritual there to deny some experience, as an ensnared ghoul will get finished off here. Xiaokai gonna lose that. Farseer will get to level 3. Tauren Chieftain was lost earlier, will get resurrected, but it at least will give time for that Lich to try and regroup. A lot of low hit point units back at home. We are going into that graveyard. Mass ghouls with a Lich, and this is strange. We're gonna have close to a level 4 Lich and an expansion up and running. You can see a new Necropolis is being built off over here, more to be able to, retrain up Acolytes if necessary. Let's take a look. Lich doesn't want to try to bite off any big creep camps right now. Farseer is at 3. Once more, we're taking a look at what Boots of Quel'Tha Lost being picked up by the Farseer. May sell that item. Yeah, quickly sells that item for 200 gold. As he looks for the follow-up play, what his next strategy is going to be. Now, so far, we are getting the fortified armor onto the Orc Burrow. You need that. It is necessary to make sure Crypt Fiends, their higher damage, their range, and also destroyers don't come in and do too much damage. But Xiaokai is actually going for a different route, going for gargoyles off of double crypt, and that may actually catch his opponent a bit off guard. Low hit point Grunt in the backs here, gonna get ensnared. Low hit point Grunt perhaps will be trying to pull back 2 low hit point units, but they really have nowhere they can run to. The Tauren Chieftain is gonna become bearing gifts of healing salves. There he goes, 1, 2, 3, and those units should be backing off here. Tauren Chieftain may try to rejoin join in on the fight, though, as the Tauren Chieftain is lower on experience, but, well, getting the Farseer to 4 is also a good call. Gargoyles out onto the field, joining in 1-0 upgrades. They are going to be better well, against any sort of Wind Riders, but I don't really understand the point of these Gargoyles as of yet. They're not going to be that powerful of a unit. Let's take a look, trying to finish off some more units there. The Talisman of Evasion finishing off as we are now coming down. All right, one Nerubian Tower. Acolyte's going to try and repair, getting ensnared, and Shao Kai is going to lose this Tomb of Relics, but perhaps lose even more as Demolishers are being thrown in as well. Who is playing this perfectly? That wasn't a question. Who is playing this perfectly? As Acolytes are, well, trying to hold onto this as much as they can. We are going to see more repairs. The Ziggurats are trying to upgrade as we now see mass Gargoyles coming into play here. Now the Raiders, will they also be able to get the necessary ensnares down? That is the follow-up question, to try and slow down many of these units. Spirit Wolves do deal double damage, but there are no Crypt Fiends, which is normally what those units are trying to go for. Tauren Chieftain with a pendant also, though, is going to be able to deal much damage with that stomp, as the Lich is currently low on mana, hasn't been able to really use that Dark Ritual as well as he would like. Let's take a look. A handful more units are going to get taken down. The Spirit Towers are now done. The Ghouls are trying to mine away. Let's take a look at this. And the Gargoyles, a perfect counter to the Demolisher, only to end up seeing the Farseer's Chain Lightning rip through so many units. Alright, without the Demolisher, the pressure is gone. Who, with a 60 supply over 41 supply advantage, unable to continue that pressure, as that is just too much defense here. Acolytes are going to go ahead and get trained up here. We still see more follow-up once again. Gargoyles trying to finish off more units. Let's take a look. Scroll of Healing was used. A big stomp. Strange to see Gargoyles get stomped down, since they are air units, as more and more units get taken down as well. Let's take a look at this. Gargoyles are now looking to back away. Where is that Lich? Lich has gone back home. Potion of Mana, big Frost Nova right there, slowing all of those units up, as the Lich still making its way back down, trying to finish off more and more units again. Meanwhile, do we see a second hero as of yet? No, nothing showing any sort of Death Knight at all. Lich is at level 5. Ultimate ability is Death and Decay. But with the number of Raiders out onto the field, any sort of channeled ability really isn't going to be that good. Alright, trying to, well, Frost Nova, a Troll Bat Rider. Frost Novaing the Troll Bat Rider, and unfortunately for the Gargoyles, though, the Gargoyles cannot use that air attack or the range attack to actually shoot down the Bat Rider. They have a melee attack, which is what you don't want to be using against a Troll Bat Rider anyways. Heading back off to the north here, let's take a look. Double Crypt still training up more units. Only 1-0 upgrades, I believe, or is it 2-0? 1-1 upgrades now coming across. Let's take a look. Are we going to see a Chain Lightning? Troll Bat Riders are going to be able to move in very quickly. More Dark Rituals trying to protect all of those units. Troll Bat Riders, oh, perhaps we'll see Gargoyle form as well to try to turn those units back into the ground. Meanwhile, all the Acolytes going to be forced to retreat back again as the Gargoyles are trying to fight back once more. All right, the Acolytes could actually start to turn back around and fight once again, as 58 compared to 36. Spirit Tower, Nerubian, and the Nerubian Towers are here. You can see the Spirit Wolves just eating through many of the units on the backside. Farseer may be forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal in order to get away, but a Tauren Chieftain puts his foot down, dealing so much damage once more. Gargoyles in the back, so many units, so low on hit points. Chain Lightning rips through so many units again, as a Scroll of Town Portal finally being used there. Alright, trying to finish off, oh, the Spirit Walker down to 12 hit points, gets into the ethereal form, but the Tauren Chieftain was too far away. Tauren Chieftain just a bridge too far, unable to get away. Lich is going to be able to, the Lich can just hold position right here. Is that Tauren Chieftain going to be able to make its way back out? Let's take a look at this. There's a Dark Ritual. There's a Frost Nova again. Is going to be able to buy a Potion of Mana. That's what we're trying to see right now. More damage down to 3 hit points. There it goes. And now the Lich is at level 6. Alright, level 6 on a solo Lich going up against a level 4 Farseer. A critical mistake. The Farseer running all the way back over here before using the Scroll of Town Portal, unable to pick up that Tauren Chieftain. And well, we once again have a game on our hands. Xiaokai with the expansion with 3 bases compared to his opponent's 2. Little does Hu know that his economic equality is actually him being at a disadvantage. He doesn't know about that expansion as of yet, and because of that, well, he's gonna find out here in just a moment. No, a big Frost Nova onto that Spirit Wolf, and at this point, Hu can pretty much suspect that there is an expansion over here on the top right. All right, more Dark Rituals coming across. It looks like the Gargoyle's Dark Ritual is the level 3 variety. He's actually getting, I believe, 150% of the mana back. Death Knight now makes its way over as well. Let's take a look. We are going to be seeing a lot of pressure. Necropolis is going to get taken out very quickly, but let's take a look at this as well. Gargoyles have shown up to the party, and well, 1 Frost Nova is all it takes to just slow down the remaining units. That slow seems to last forever and a day as another Frost Nova goes over, and let's take a look. 1 or 2 more shots. There it goes. Trading a Necropolis for 3, count them, 3 Raiders, and I think that is a very good trade, especially since the experience on the Death Knight is going to be so crucial as we go into that next step. Kodo Beast, Patrol Bat Riders now making their way through 61 supply compared to 58. Triple Spirit or triple towers protecting this expansion here. 1 Acolyte actually on patrol, maybe on what, repair patrol, in order to try to keep all the units alive. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Tauren Chieftain with a pocket Great Hall, tiny Great Hall, looking to set up an expansion of his own. Death Knight shows up to the party. Let's take a look. Are we going to get a big Frost Nova onto that unit? Perhaps trying to get away first. Lich purposely backing away, as we're going to take a look at the Death Knight, who unfortunately will be forced to absorb far too much damage. Death Knight still wandering around right here. And let's take a look at this. There goes another unit. Frost Nova comes. Lich purposely backing away again. The Death Knight wants all of the experience as he stays in the battle. Lich purposely staying back as we are getting into another expansion. Xiaokai going for 4 bases. Perhaps we'll be moving Acolytes from this main base here in just a moment. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this Troll Bat Rider. Oh, gonna quickly get spotted down there. There's a big Frost Nova as the units are now trying to back again. Death Knight does have Unholy Aura. Oh, the Gem of Health. Let's take a look. Big Troll Bat Rider. Death and Destruction once more. All the units are gonna get back away. Let's take a look. Big Frost Nova. Lich gonna try and engage. Gargoyles are right here. Let's take a look. Going straight after that Farseer. Farseer absorbing a lot of damage as you're going to take a look. Farseer gets just buried alive pretty much instantaneously. Death Knight now gets up to level 3. He's trying to back away. Let's take a look. Kodo Beast, not that great of a unit when you consider it is unarmored. Lich still trying to make its way back over. Death Knight is going to be able to get a Death Coil long distance. There's the Frost, or there is the level 7 now. Death Coil to try to finish off one last Raider itself at 7 hit points. All right, crazy game going on so far. 1 Nerubian Tower here. Gargoyles will be making its way over. Death Knight, perhaps what we need to be looking at some Obsidian statues. We are low on mana, as this 1 Necropolis, well, is pretty much a time sink right now. Xiaokai is going to cancel this Necropolis, no doubt about it. And as it gets, well, it may not have gotten canceled. All right, I take it back. Xiaokai maybe did not cancel that Necropolis. They're canceling that Haunted Gold Mine, but he knows that his opponent does have an expansion and now going to go straight for it. All right, this Orc Burrow will get taken down. Peons not going to be able to survive for very long. Quickly finishing it off. Let's take a look. 1 Gargoyle quickly getting healed back up. Dark Ritual, Scroll of Healing to try to save all of these units, as a Troll Bat Rider could be inbound. All right, let's take a look. There's a Lich Frost Nova double attack, enough to keep it alive. Peon's not going to be enough there, as the units are now making their way back over. This fast movement speed and well, the slow effects of the Lich is really what is giving this undead army such nasty bite. Trying to be everywhere at once. The Lich great at picking off units, also able to just deal so much damage against the other intelligence-based hero. Let's take a look at this. Oh, Troll Bat Rider showing up to the party. There goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Multiple suicides hit their target. 5. 3 gargoyles getting taken down right there as a stomp now comes across. Tauren Chieftain really lucks out in that battle, and all of a sudden, Hu drops down to 52 compared to 54. After all of those suicides, a good trade as Shao Kai ends up, well, hurting a little bit more. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. Lich, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, is going to be able to do anything else. Let's take a look. Tauren Chieftain down to 220. Gargoyle gets Dark Ritualed, and it looks like we could be going for a Frost Nova. There's the Speed Scroll. Wow. Look at him run, able to get so far, so fast. Meanwhile, the Lich with Unholy Aura and movement speed from the Boots of Speed. Enough. Gargoyle, Tauren Chieftain going to be coming around the corner, takes damage, and now taking even more damage again. Death Knight trying to slow up that distance. 1 or 2 more shots should be enough. Let's take a look at this. Lich unable to finish the job though. However, Raiders will get taken down again. All right, Dark Ritual from those Acolytes. Lich absorbing so much getting so much mana once again, as the Tauren Chieftain will be able to return all the way back home. All right, Death Knight, well, Farseer comes over to try and saves the Tauren Chieftain, but who's going to save the Tauren Chieftain? A couple of Raiders, but who's going to save the Raiders? No one. No one can save those Raiders there, as more units getting taken down. All right. Wolves coming across. Let's take a look. There goes a quick 1, 2, 3 dead peon. Death Knight still wandering around here. Let's take a look. The Great Hall gonna end up getting lost. Meanwhile, this expansion is up and running. It is currently going to be 3 bases to 2 in just a second, as this expansion will get taken down. All right, Tauren Chieftain is right there. Death Knight is in a little bit of trouble. Gem of Health dropped and picked back up. Also dodged the stomp right there, as the units are now trying to head back every which way. All right, Tauren Chieftain is in serious trouble. Death Coil lands on its target. Farseer, or Death Knight, trying to make its way back over, is going to be able to finish off. Scroll of Speed, being able to run away so quickly once again, as the Spirit Walkers also have speed, Scroll of Speed as well. Ensnare onto the Death Knight. Death Knight could be in trouble. Well, unable to get away. Are we going to see another Ensnare now? Meanwhile, back off to the north, Farseer gets taken down. And, well, there goes the Farseer at level 5. Death Knight could end up getting taken down as well. Let's take a look. Lich has the Scroll of Town Portal. Why isn't it being transferred to the Death Knight? That I do not know, as the Spirit Wolves are just chasing after that Death Knight now. Death Knight down to 142 hit points, trying to get away. Gargoyles joining in, 3 at a time. Is it triple crypt, and being able to him to train up so many units? As we take a look, wow, the Obsidian statue here could get in some big kills. Gargoyles now making their way back down. Meanwhile, the Death Knight trying to get away, down to 125 hit points, could head back off to the north, get back on Blight. And, well, let's take a look. Spirit Wolves will not be able to finish up that target there. Obsidian statue now with the rest of this army. Shao Kai, 72 supply compared to 46. Tauren Chieftain now making its way back over. Quick, Death coming in from those Troll Bat Riders. Let's take a look. Gargoyles are upgraded 2-2. Perhaps we need to get even more armor onto those units so that they do not die at the hands of those Troll Bat Riders. All right, units trying to head back away. Let's take a look at this bestiary currently out onto the field. Acolytes being transitioned back over here to the top left-hand side of the map. Tauren Chieftain, Spirit Walker, Grunts now making their way over as well. Necropolis, well, absorbing a bit of damage. Tauren Chieftain trying to squeeze its way through, puts a foot down and stuns a lot of these units in its tracks. Meanwhile, coming back across here, let's take a look. Obsidian statue with some big heals. Death Knight, Frost Nova. Let's take a look at this Troll Bat Rider quickly getting taken down. And by taking down the bestiary, you're pretty much taking down the one production building, or I guess 2 production buildings, that can counter this mass gargoyle strategy. Right now, Shao Kai saying to himself, you know what, I can afford to lose this base. That is not a problem. Meanwhile, Destroyers back out onto the field. Are we going to perhaps get some Devour magic to try and, well, shut down these Spirit Wolves? I do believe so. One Obsidian statue is right there. Spirit Wolf trying to finish off the Death Knight. Death Knight gets up to level 4. And I think at this point, Shao Kai is in the driver's seat of this game. Victory seems imminent, as the main tech buildings of Hu will end up being lost. Army now trying to come back here. The Troll, well, no, not even a Troll Bat Rider, a Kodo Beast trying to be retrained up here. Orc Burrows even with fortified armor, not holding up at the hands of all of these units here as they are now trying to retreat back again. Peon doing some massive repairs. Farseer, not enough mana for any sort of Chain Lightning. I really believe if there was perhaps a Panda, Breath of Fire, Farseer, Chain Lightning, and then you couple it with the Troll Bat Riders, that would have been just enough damage to reach past the critical point again. Death Knight now looking to back away. Let's take a look. Tauren Chieftain down to 300 hit points, down to 200. Lich is like, you know what? I don't really need to chase that at all. There goes a Frost Nova, and Shao Kai comes away with the victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh, let me see all of the stats here.